Story time. This is about the second time that I got robbed. And this time it was by a friend. At least it was a happy ending on this one. There was this kid that I knew for 6 months. We became really good friends. And he was 17 at the time. I can't remember how old I was. But I was married to my second wife. And it was in this house. The robbery actually took place right there because the door was right there at the front door. I've moved the door since then. But anyway, what happened was this. Became friends, and it was Christmas time, and he wanted to know if he could buy a PlayStation from me. So I did. I sold him a PlayStation for 50 bucks. And what I didn't know was that he was supposed to spend that money, the $50, on presents for his brothers and sisters. I knew nothing about that. So I made the deal and everything seemed fine. Well, it came over one other time, and what got stolen was my camcorder. I bought a camcorder for $800. This was back when they first came out, and they were like huge, set up right on your shoulder. Anyway, there was this time where I was tired and I didn't want to put it back in its box because you had to, unplug everything. So I laid it by the front door underneath some clothes, but you couldn't see it as far as I knew. But anyway, most of the time I put it back in its box and I put it away. Anyway, I didn't. And so anyway, this kid came over. He visited with me. This was after I made the deal. And then 2 days later, Christmas came, or Christmas Eve. And so I went to get the camcorder because I always record, the family gatherings. And I looked underneath the clothes and it wasn't there. And they were in a hurry because we were getting a ride up there. And I said, well, just hold on, please. Let me look for the camcorder. So I looked around the house and I couldn't find it. And I searched really good. But so then I had no choice but to leave. But the whole time I was there at the gathering, I kept thinking, like, it's got to be gone. And how? What happened to it? And so I didn't enjoy myself at that gathering because I was constantly worried about, where it was. So then when I came back home, I searched again, and it was gone. And the first thing that popped in my mind was that kid. I'm not going to say his name, of course. But anyway, so I sit there and I thought, wow, I can't believe that. He stole from me. We've been friends for 6 months and he robbed me. And then I thought he had these two guys that were really close friends. They were brothers. Anyway, he had mentioned to me something about they like to play in the closet or something like that. I don't know what, some game or something, army or something. And so I got thinking that chances are he stole the camcorder. Then he probably gave it to the brothers to keep until, things cleared away, and then they would give it back to him. So when I went and called the police, I told them everything that I thought, that this kid took it and that he gave it to these brothers, and chances are you'll find it in the closet. That's why I said. Well, they went over there, and he was a next door neighbor, by the way, next door neighbor. And the kid admitted it right away to the police when they asked him. I don't know, maybe he's scared of police, but he did. He admitted it. And then what I didn't know was he actually sold it to those brothers for $50. And it was, in fact, in the closet. It was. So the two boys got arrested for stolen goods. And the kid, the friend of mine, ex-friend, he got selling stolen goods and for robbery. It was all misdemeanor. Tried to close that out, darn it. It was all misdemeanor stuff for all of them. Anyway, I was grateful, but the prosecutor decided to prosecute. Then the mother and the kid came over and he was crying. He apologized, and I said, you know what? I really respect you telling the police the truth, because you could have easily lied. And he was wanting to know if he can keep the friendship and would I forgive him. And I went ahead and forgave him. But also they wanted to know if I dropped the charges. And I said, it's not up to me. Once you go to the prosecutor, it's his choice. And the kid was crying and stuff like that. But I said, I'm sorry, we cannot be friends. You robbed from me. I wouldn't be able to trust you. I'm sorry. So anyway, they left and all that. And what ended up happening was he got probation, community service, I think, and a fine. And that was it. But the camcorder, when I went to the police, and and they had the camcorder, they wouldn't give it back to me. I had to wait for a whole month um, for it to be done with court being used as evidence. I said, can't you take a picture of it and then give it to me, And they said no, they couldn't do that. So a month later, I ended up getting the camcorder back. But it taught me a lesson that you just can't trust everybody when they come in your house. They could easily rob you, and you're not really paying attention to where your stuff is, And that really hurt because besides that, he was a good person, And his family, I used to go over there and visit all the time. And I think that's the most expensive thing that ever got stolen from me. And I've only been robbed twice. So anyway, there you go. That's the second time I was robbed. So again, if any of you had that experience of being robbed, let me know in the comments below. What was stolen, what ended up happening, did they ever find it again? Did you find out who it was that did it? All right, thank you for watching, and God bless.